Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
It's great to have you join us again. I'm Tayo Salah.
Let's get started with this good news, or rather a glimmer of hope for table tennis players. That's just the two of them, Aziz and Esther, both of them competing for the qualifiers for the Youth Olympic Games in Tunis. The Federation President in they have decided to sponsor these teenagers to the tournament to see if they can qualify for the Youth Olympic Games.
Yeah, good one, Cecilia. I mean, that's what it is. Glimmer, just a glimmer. I mean, because it's well documented that the team couldn't travel, for the African Junior Championships in Tunisia. But Esther Bamishe and Aziz Sri Lanka, they've got a chance now to still make it to that particular tournament. Hopefully, they're not really mentally, affected by what has happened to the rest of their teammates.
That's it. That's our prayers. Because now we'll
talk more about it later on.
That. Now the next one we'll be focusing on today is the continental tickets for Enugu Rangers. The game has been moved forward for hours because they are traveling today. And for Rivers United, well, they have a chance to see if they can get on top in the first leg game in the CAF Confederations Cup.
Yeah, Cecilia, for Rivers United, I think they've improved in recent weeks in the league. So you think they'll be able to get a very decent result at home against Ryan Sports of Rwanda. But for Rangers International of Enugu, Cecilia, there's a lot of worry. There's a lot going on with that team right now. I really, really worry.
Coachless.
For Rangers, they're not exactly coachless.
Assistant coach is stepping in the position of the coach.
Yeah, they're not coachless.
They don't have a coach.
Come on, Cecilia, stop being cheeky. Let's move on to the show now. We'll talk more about Rangers and Rivers later on the show. And this time around, we're still talking football, and we're still talking, continental kind of football as well too, but this time we're talking about Europa League, UEFA Europa League. Manchester United traveled to Belgium and drew 1-1 against Anderlecht, and afterwards Jose Mourinho was not a very happy man at all because he basically blamed his attackers for being sloppy and not killing off the game. And we've seen United this season. They've become the draw specialists, Cecilia, in the Premier League. It looks like they're carrying it on into the Europa League now because a lot of these games they play really well and they dominate the beats and you expect them to kill, the opponent. They never do that and they make one mistake and they consider an equalizer and that's the end.
Maybe Jose Mourinho should stop taking out his striker and bringing in Mario Fellaini. Maybe if in some of those games that they've had this draw, we've seen it at Middlesbrough, right?
Yes.
Okay, you know what? Talk to the NBA now. We'll come back to the analysis much later.
Definitely, Cecilia. We'll talk more about Jose's, tactics and strategies for seeing out on 1-0 score lines later on the show. We'll start with the NBA playoffs. Cecilia, we're very close. Tomorrow is tip-off, and we have 4 games on Saturday in the NBA playoffs, and it's going to be the Indiana Pacers taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's the defending champions led by LeBron James. They will take on Paul George and the Indiana Pacers. That's a very, very exciting matchup, Cecilia. The Pacers on a given day can shock the Cavs, but you still have to say the Cavs have the edge in this one.
They have the edge. I'm not even looking at the game. I told you I'm looking at the Eastern Conference game, the one between OKC and of course.
Okay, so you don't want to talk about this. That's the games
I'm looking at. So this games you're looking at. I think Cavs, Toronto Raptors will know they're going to win.
Really?
Spurs will going to win against Grizzlies, and Clippers and Jazz. Clippers, of course, on their good day, we know they can win this opening matches. So I'm
Milwaukee Bucks versus Toronto Raptors. Toronto will go through. The Bucks have. Remember the Greek freak, arguably one of the best players in the NBA right now.
Pronounce this name.
Antetokounmpo.
Okay. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, they've got one of the best, young players in the NBA. That's Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I'm not totally going to rule them out in that one. For the Spurs and the Grizzlies, the Spurs obviously are favorites, but the Grizzlies as well, to their very decent side. Marc Gasol still, playing really well. They've got the veteran from the bench, Vince Carter. So, I understand why you think the Spurs will go through in that. And the Jazz versus Clippers. Clippers, that's a very tough one to call. Yeah. Jazz Clippers. Yeah.
I'm going to go Clippers because if you check the players that they have, I said when all of them play and decided to click together. They're going to win
Chris
that game.
Paul, Blake Griffin.
All of them.
All of them.
Yep.
Okay, we'll find out tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day NBA playoffs tip off where legends are made. Okay, where legends are born and made.
Made,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think that's more like it.